All right. I'm going to answer Terrain Rain on this particular article. These are Jewish people that committed welfare fraud and Medicaid fraud, and they are being put in part of an amnesty program so they won't go to jail. And I can tell you for a fact, the Lakewood residents are deeply opposed to this, and they do see it as preferential treatment. But just like all of the white community, when it comes down to privilege, you will see it rear its head all throughout the centuries since there has been in America, completely colonized by these people. So the usual colonizer will walk away from something they really should have went to jail for. And we've seen this repeated over and over and over. And also, Tareen, a few years ago, there were a bunch of Jewish people rounded up in New Jersey for organ harvesting. So many of them are in the more so up in the northern part of New Jersey, where there's they're pretty close to New York, and New York has the largest Jewish population in all of the United States. This happens a lot. And we know it happens a lot because there's a history of it. And, I'm surprised they're not shipping them all to Israel, because that's another big thing these people do when they get in trouble with the law, when they molest children or rape a child or done something insanely crazy. Usually what they'll do is they'll ship them over to Israel so they don't go to jail. That's another big thing these Jewish people do. So it always appears like most of the white population that they're really not committing that many crimes, but actually they are. But the system is set up to always let them go for felonies, but punish anybody of color and send you to jail. Now, if black people would have done this whole thing, they would have plastered it all over the news. It would have been everywhere. And you would be sitting in jail with no bail. We know how you roll. We know how the devil rolls. White people commit welfare fraud, and these white Jewish people, because they try to claim these people are something else, but they're ultimately white people. States creates amnesty programs so they won't go to jail. And there's a lot of people in New Jersey that are deeply opposed to this, but it's their law. And like I said, America technically have no laws. If you notice, whenever it is someone white, the laws suddenly change, or there's some kind of loophole they can find. Or even if there's no loophole, the judge will just blatantly let them go. They don't care. That's why I always say this is a lawless land. If you got to make it up as you go along, then what good are your laws on the book? What good are they? Seriously. All right, contrary to popular belief, white people do in fact receive welfare benefits. What may also come as a surprise is that some of them even cheat to get it. And sometimes when that happens, a local or state government may come up with a plan that will make it so the white people who commit welfare fraud don't have to go to jail for their crimes, like in this particular case with these four. Such is the case in the state of New Jersey, where NBC New York reports that after more than 24 arrests for Medicaid fraud happened in the Ocean County community of Lakewood. That's more south of where I am, by the way. State officials created an amnesty program for people who confess their abuse of the program. Believe me, this is for white people only. The Ocean County Recipient Volunteer Disclosure Program will start Tuesday and run for 3 months, according to the Office of Comptroller Medicaid Fraud Division. You know why they're doing this, ladies and gentlemen? Because there's a lot of white people doing this. If there was a lot of black people committing this fraud, they wouldn't be setting up no program at all. It's an awful lot of white people doing this, so they got to figure out a way to keep them out of jail. That's exactly why this program is created, and it's not created for any other reason. Under the program, people would have to repay the benefits they received that they were not eligible for, plus a civil penalty. In addition, they would have to agree not to accept Medicaid benefits for 1 year. Now, what kind of punishment is that? NBC reports. So after a year, these people who committed this major crime can go back and reapply for Medicaid in 1 year? What kind of damn punishment is that? That don't make any damn sense. Those who meet all the requirements for Amnesty program will not be referred to prosecution, and Ocean County Prosecutor's Office will not pursue charges against them. Again, white people only. See, it's a lot of white people cheating the system. And this is why they have to put this kind of amnesty program in place. And it's just why they won't put these drug addicts in jail, because now it has hit the white community hard and they don't want to put them behind bars. That would mean mass incarcerating their own people. Currently, the program is open only to Ocean County residents who have received Medicaid benefits but are not already facing charges and have not already settled with the comptroller's office. State and federal authorities charged 26 people in the town of Lakewood. That's why I'm telling you, it's a lot of them doing this. And that's why they had to come up with some kind of way to keep them out of jail, because all of these people are white. I bet every dime in my wallet, all 26 of these people were all Jewish, and they all got caught committing fraud. Among those charged are a prominent local rabbi and special needs teachers. Okay, the charges stem from allegations that all failed to report or otherwise conceal income that would have made them ineligible for benefits. Those families are said to have collected more than $2.4 million in benefits. That is outrageous. That is outrageous. And also, a lot of the Jewish community in New York are all on food stamps and welfare in Section 8. You can look this up. I kid you not, the articles are all out there. They get probably the highest percentage of it up in New York. According to NBC, the town of Lakewood's population has tripled since the 1980s. The community is mostly Orthodox Jewish, and the town is one of New Jersey's largest. Religious leaders in the town support the program because it will let participants avoid prosecution. That's because, see, these leaders are other Jewish people, ladies and gentlemen. That's why they think this is a great thing. So this happened in a predominantly black town in New Jersey as well, or not, asking for black people everywhere. Because we know if it was black people, everybody would go to jail. And the media and white people everywhere would be demanding they be jailed. We know how you get down. But because these are Jewish people, oh, we have to set up a program, and we all agreed with this program, and we think this is a great program, so they don't have to go to jail. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, they wouldn't go to jail. Because like I said to you before, one thing about Jewish people, when they break the law and they think they may face jail time, they take that person, throw them on a plane, and fly them right over to Israel. And they never go after them or apprehend these people once they're gone. They have been notorious for doing that forever now, since there has been in Israel. That's been their way out of any kind of legal problems they fall into in the U.S. They just fly on the plane, go to Israel, and stay in Israel. All right, Tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. And if you can donate to my channel, please do. And if you can make a donation to my hurricane fund, I would deeply appreciate it. Peace, family.